So, Mark, when did you first pick up a Fender guitar?
When I was, gosh, I can't even remember. I mean, it was 8 years ago maybe. I was at Washington Music Center at Chuck Levin's in Wheaton, Maryland, walking around looking for an electric guitar because I'd never owned one before. I was always an acoustic player, and this custom shop Telly, this Junior was hanging on the wall, and it kind of just stuck out immediately to me. I loved the way it looked, and I pulled it down. I loved the way it played, and I asked the story behind it. Apparently, a kid had knocked it off the wall months before and chipped some paint around it and banged it up a little bit, and they were trying to get rid of it. And I said, well, I'll take it. You know, I fell in love with it right away. I plugged it into a Super Reverb right there at the store, and had P90 pickups, and I just loved the way that sound came across. It wasn't something I'd really heard before. I'd never really played electric guitar before, so I was really into it. And I play the same guitars now, the same one, and I found an identical one just like it. And that's pretty much it. I fell in love with the Junior, the feel of the custom, the Junior Telly. So,
what was cool about making that change from playing an acoustic so much to going to an electric instrument?
I think with the acoustic guitar, I always felt it was real cumbersome, physically cumbersome and tougher to play back then. When I was young, it was tougher to play the acoustic, but I really loved it. And the second I played an electric guitar, it felt much smoother. It felt real easy to work up and down the frets, and it just felt, I don't know, real easy to play. I'm not like a soloist. I'm not a shredder by any means, but I just liked the way that playing rhythm guitar on an electric felt, as opposed to rhythm guitar and acoustic. It was like a whole new world. You could play a lot of different things.
Speaking of being able to play a lot of different things, what kind of a player do you feel that you are as a guitar player, but also an electric guitar player?
In our band, you got Richie, who's a really great player and very melodic player, and he's very wide open. He can play all over the spectrum, and I think a lot of my parts are about filling in the gaps where he's not playing. He's not able to play every part at once. So, I'm basically a rhythm player, but I really just like to put in little coloring here and there, and maybe throw some foundation underneath what he's playing when he's up top a little bit, just because that's my job. My job is to just support what the band's doing, support what he's doing, and not try to stick out too much, but be more of a background rhythm player. And with the electric, tonally you can get on the other side of what Richie's doing and really fill out the sound a lot. So that's what I try to do, and that's what I like to do.
Speaking of these different types of playing styles and everything, who taught you to play? What were your influences? Like, you're a real dynamic player. Where did that come from?
When I was a kid, the one influence that I can remember clearly was reading a magazine, Guitar Player magazine, and Eric Clapton was being interviewed, and this one quote he said back then, he said, make your guitar talk, and it was like this one thing where I'm learning a scale, in this magazine, and he says, make your guitar talk, make it speak, make it moan and wail, and this is Clapton saying it, so he can actually do that, but even guys like me when I was a kid are still learning from this, saying, if I want to have an up tone or a more melancholy feel, whatever it is, that quote really followed me all the way through in making my guitar kind of talk for me and get my mood out. So that was the one influence I had back then, was Clapton, not because I wanted to emulate how he played, but because I liked some of the reasons he played. He played to get his feelings out, and I really relate to that on my level.
What's one of your favorite memories over the years playing a Fender?
My favorite memory playing guitar is, we were just over in Iraq, playing in front of the troops over there. That was my favorite memory. And again, you're just, all you got there is your guitar, you know what I mean? And you don't have all the hoopla that you bring out on the road with you, you know, big sound system, lights, all your pedals, all your amps, all your stuff. All you got is your guitar. Everything else is rented backline, you know. So the only thing that's connecting you to your own stuff in a foreign land in front of people is your guitar. So that was my favorite moment, you know, for so many reasons. But even pared down to nothing but your own guitar and no extra stuff, it sounded good. So that's pretty cool.